Welcome back. More playoff action. It's your boy DJ Stevo back with the recaps. I would have posted last night, but I was not at home. I was at karaoke, but I did watch all these games, and karaoke is actually very, very funny. You guys need to go ahead and do that. That was a very interesting night, to say the least. But again, the games last night, we had the Heat versus the Bucks in Game 3. We also had the Lakers versus the Suns in Game 3, and we had the Portland Trailblazers versus the Denver Nuggets in Game 3. All great games. Before I get into the recap, go ahead and like the video if you enjoy the content. Go ahead and subscribe if you enjoy the content as well. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we need your help to get to that goal. And of course, share the content with your friends who love NBA content, trying to reach out to everybody who loves basketball commentary and basketball facts, basketball history, all that stuff. Let's get into the video though. So, first game, Milwaukee versus Miami. Bucks versus Heat. Domination by the Milwaukee Bucks again. This is just another proof. It just proves my point to the point that the Milwaukee Bucks are just a clearly better team than last year. The pieces that they added in this year in the offseason have just been perfect. They fit well around Giannis. Giannis in that game 1 looked very, very uncomfortable, and ever since then, he looks like the 2-time MVP that Giannis Antetokounmpo is. And I just like this team a lot. I really like this team. I like the fact that they seem even keeled. They don't really seem like a team that's gonna go ahead and do too much. I just think they need to be tested, and I think the next series against the Brooklyn Nets is gonna be a true test. A team that has offense from everywhere, and I think the Bucks can play great defense, and that series is gonna be very, very crazy. Assuming that the Brooklyn Nets do beat the Boston Celtics in Game 3, which I think they will. That's gonna be a very, very good series. I cannot wait for that. But Game 4, we already know what's going to happen in Game 4. The Bucks are going to close them out. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the Miami Heat. I think people are not giving them their due diligence and being fair when they talk about these guys. Now, the Miami Heat, can we say that they're basically the same team that they were last year? And I think that people are using the notion that because they won't make it to the NBA Finals, or the fact that they made it to the NBA Finals in a bubble, that their championship doesn't really mean, that their Eastern Conference championship doesn't really mean much. And I think that's just not fair. And I don't think people are doing their history and knowing what really happened with context. Think about it, the fact that these guys had less than 80 days for an offseason, and they started the season off slow, not due to the fact that they were playing bad, but a lot of guys were not in the rotation, and a lot of guys were injured. You had people who had COVID. I mean, it's something to the point where this team started off slow and caught fire late. And they're a good team, but against a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, we just need to understand that this team is just better than them. And I do think that offensively, they've been very, very stagnant. Jimmy Butler is not shooting the ball well, and you really can't play most of your offensive guys in this series because they're not great defenders. I mean, Tyler Hero, people are going to knock Tyler Hero, and I feel that because you could have traded him and got a better piece this season, like a star piece, even though there's rumors saying that they already tried to offer Tyler Hero, and there are reports that the Rockets did not want Tyler Hero, but that's something that I can't prove. But even if you say that, Tyler Hero had a better season than his rookie year. He had a good season, and people are going to knock him saying, oh yeah, he's a bust, he's a bum. And I think that's not fair. The guy's averaging 15 points this season. Like, in this series, he's just unplayable due to the fact that he can't defend. And the Heat are just going to key in on that. So, I mean, not the Heat, the Bucks are going to key in on that. So that's just my take on that. But that's just what I think about the Bucks and Heat series. This series is going to be done in Game 4 in Miami, but we're waiting for that Bucks Nets series. Let's talk about the Lakers and Suns. Man, when I tell you, when I was at karaoke, I was literally watching the game the entire time. My friends are telling me, like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, go talk to some ladies. I'm like, hey man, the Lakers are playing. 1 sec, I gotta see what's going on with the Lakers. So I'm watching the game, and number one, CP3, this injury is unfortunate. I talked about it in the last post game, a recap. It's so unfortunate because this guy, I don't understand how he's always, man, him being hurt right now is just, it's just unfortunate for this guy, because I feel like if he was healthy, the Suns would have so much of a more shot to make this series more competitive than what it is. Because in that third quarter, we literally saw LeBron turn up into he went to a different level. He turned into the LeBron that we know when he wants to take over the game, he's gonna take over the game. And you see Jay Crowder trying to post him up, play some good D on him, but like, Bron is laughing at the dude, spins baseline, reverse lay, like, come on, bro, who's doing that? Who's doing that at age 36, man? But this game, from the beginning, it was predicated on defense. Both teams didn't even have 50 points at half. And the Lakers defense just came in a little bit more stronger than the Suns. And we knew this because without LeBron and AD, the Lakers had a number 1 defensive rating, number 1 defense in the league. So this is not new. The Lakers are a great defensive team. So that's what they hang their hat on. We've said this before. And then when you have LeBron and AD play, AD had another 30-point outburst this game. So that's good to see. So again, the Lakers beating, if they can get past the series quick, because they got to gear up for the next series against the Nuggets and Blazers if they win. I won't say the Suns are out, but from what I saw near the end of the game, when I saw Devin Booker push Dennis Schroeder in midair during that was dirty. That was a dirty play. That was a completely dirty play. And I saw that and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not good. Devin Booker, we're in his head. And then Jay Crowder got ejected a few seconds later. I'm like, oh yeah, we're in their head now. So when you see that, you already knew that these guys are already emotionally reeling. They're pissed off due to the fact that they're down. They've had a great season, and they have to face the defending champions due to injuries. It's unfortunate, but I mean, I think Game 4, you're gonna see the Lakers try to get this done quick. I think that they understand that this is not a team that you can play with. I think Devin Booker, I think DeAndre Ayton, I think Chris Paul, which is unfortunate that he's injured, they're gonna try to make a run quickly in Game 4, but the Lakers got to press that down immediately. My only issue with this game in Game 4 and Game 3 was seeing KCP get injured. Now, I don't know the seriousness of that injury, but as a Laker fan, I'm going to be completely honest. For us to win the championship, we need KCP. Now, a lot of people are going to say that's a boost you're forcing. If you watch these games, KCP is one of the best perimeter defenders on this team, along with Caruso. He starts for a reason. There's a reason why he plays with Bron, so Bron doesn't have to play all the way up on the perimeter on most guys, because KCP handles that responsibility with Caruso, with other perimeter guards like Wes Matthews. So we need that guy playing. We need him healthy. And I'm praying that this guy is not that he's not dealing with a very, very serious injury, because he was walking off. I don't know if I saw tears, but I'm praying he's okay. If he's missed like maybe a week or two, that's something, but the Lakers need KCP. People are going to talk about him not shooting the ball well this series. That's fine. But we've seen KCP have bad games in the bubble last year in the playoffs, and he come back the next game and go off for 20. The guy's really, really good. The Lakers need him. That's just that important. Game 4 coming up on Sunday. They got 2 days rest. I cannot wait to see what the Lakers do. The Suns are going to put up a fight, of course, but the Lakers got to close that out immediately to get this wrap. You don't want to go down. You don't want the series to go 2-2 and give home court back to the Suns, because they're going to have more momentum. There we go. More momentum. There we go. But yeah, that's going to be a good game. Let's get into the last game, Portland Trailblazers versus the Denver Nuggets. And again, this is due to the fact that a lot of these games are being scheduled at the same time, so it's very, very tough to watch a lot of these games. But I was able to catch most of the highlights and key moments in this game. From what I got from this game, it's just a knock on the fact that the Denver Nuggets offense is very, very highly rated. It's very, very good. And Jokic, you cannot leave him. He can score on anybody in the post. I mean, I think we know this already. And then the biggest story of this game would be Austin Rivers' 16 points in the fourth quarter. And his 16 points came due to the fact that he caught fire, but it also came to the fact that Jokic was on the court. And when I saw twice, CJ McCollum was wrapped up on him, and it's like, this is probably with the Trailblazers defense again. Man. But Jokic is on the floor. He commands a double. You go to double him, he's going to find a guy open. He literally does what Luka does, what LeBron does. Those are what the star players do. They know how to pass out of double teams. And just a quick, just to add in some reference, the star players know how to pass out of double teams. You're seeing that problem with Julius Randle in New York, because he's never seen double teams like this before in the playoffs, and he's having trouble getting the ball to his guys and knowing what to do. So just think about that when you're watching these next few games, because those things are important. But back to the Denver Nuggets game, Jokic is getting doubled. You're going to leave guys open. And I mean, guys are hitting. They're shooting. They shot the ball well from the field, shot the ball well from 3. And the Denver Nuggets are just a tough team to beat when they're rolling offensively. And I think the Blazers, they're a good offensive team, but defensively they've been bad for the past 7 years. They've never been a good defensive team, which is unfortunate, because they have the firepower to score. They can score the ball. And Damian Lillard is averaging close to like 38 points per game. Like, what's going on here? 38 points per game in this series. Like, he's a great player, but with the talent that he have on his team, he shouldn't be averaging 38 points per game. And on top of that, your defense got to be better. It's just that simple. Like, I understand Jokic. Jokic is going to be tough to beat. We already knew this. We already knew coming into the series, are the Blazers going to be able to find a way to stop Jokic in the low post, in the pick and roll, and they can't do that. He's already averaging 30 points, over 30 points in the series. And then you add in the fact that guys are coming off the Nuggets who are helping them score, and it's a funny series due to the fact that both teams are great offenses, and it's going to come down to who can get some stops or who can just shoot the ball poorly. And the Blazers didn't shoot the ball well from three, and you could see this game went to the Nuggets' favor, and I think that Game 4 is going to be another close game. This series, I think it might go 7. I think I'll go with the Blazers for Game 4, but I don't know. Both teams are just missing. More so, the Blazers are just missing something. And I think that they're going to get rid of Terry Stotts at the end of the season, which is probably a good move because he hasn't done much. I mean, he hasn't really done much there. So yeah, that's what I think about that game. I think Game 4 is going to be a little bit more interesting. And then NBA has to stop scheduling these games at the same time. Oh my God, it's so annoying. Like tomorrow they have, I think there's a game at 6:30. There's a game at 6, a game at 7:30, and a game at 8:30. Like, I don't know. They got somebody scheduling with their eyes closed up there at the NBA headquarters. But no, that's the recap of the games yesterday. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like. Of course, comment down below what you think about the games and what's coming up in the NBA playoffs. And let me know what team you're rocking with. Because a lot of y'all are going to claim that you're a Brooklyn Nets fan or a Lakers fan, but you were wearing an Orlando Magic jersey this entire season. So I need to find y'all. But, of course, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Share the NBA content as well. Until next time, stay on beat.